just sitting here thinking. A lot of people must not know how to beat a demon. In order to beat a demon, you gotta conquer yourself. You gotta conquer your temptations. A lot of people haven't. A lot of y'all never did that. So it's like let's say other nationalities. As a whole, have conquered a lot as a whole. So that's why they don't, struggle like we do, like my nationality do, because more of them done conquered. So as a whole, it's more good, solid people in their nationality than it is in ours. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's too much under the table stuff, under the bed stuff. And ours is too to the point where there's too much agreement on under the bed, under the table stuff. So it's like you can't be on the table when you live under the table. I'm trying to say this without saying too much. Y'all gotta get it, bro. But in order to beat a demon, it's like you do things out of moderation, okay. You go out to a party, you have a good time, okay. But is you gonna bring the good time home? You gonna continue the good time? When you sin, no matter what it is, you got so many times. Oh, okay, here's a good example. When you do methamphetamine or something like that, you got 3 days before it attached to you. You got 3 days before you become possessed by it. In other words, that entity take over you and keep you stuck on it. That same thing works for everything else. Not 3 days. That particular what you call it, it's just amazing how fast that works. That's why I use that for an example. It only takes 3 days to be addicted to that stuff. That's it. 3 days. I mean, you can buy everything you need to make that stuff at Walmart. So some of the stuff that y'all possibly, I ain't gonna say that, we ain't gonna go there. But I learned all that in the street chemist stuff. But same thing with sex. Same thing with sex. They'll bind you to certain sexual activities, and you'll be stuck doing that. This is possession. It's a chain. If you can't feel the chains like I can, and the braces like I can, it's like you should be able to feel the attachments. I mean the possessions That's what's keeping you addicted. That's what's keeping you stuck. That's what's keeping you going back, pulling you to possess you possess. So you have to. That's why when you got the rehabilitation clinics, they put you in this room, and you stay in that room long enough without whatever you was whatever you was addicted to. It's like I don't know why it didn't get paid. I don't know. I think the movie was underrated, but the movie that Samuel Jackson made, uh, I keep wanting to say Anaconda, but it wasn't Anaconda. It sounded like a snake name though. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one David Banner played in it when he Samuel tied this girl up to this thing because she had that itch, and he tied her there long enough to get rid of that itch, that sexual itch. Because that's possessed, that's what that is. They gain that itch over doing so much. You know what I'm saying? And I done known a lot of angels that have that itch when they do too much. They become a glove. You get these nicknames over there in the astro, and these I thought I had to stop myself from laughing, but they place you in these like slots, over there, and that's where you gonna stay. It's like, and when you see a art, like I said, it's spiritual arts out here. That's why I felt like revelation going on for the whole world, but it could just be going on for this area, you know. But I think these arts are our floats, and I think I got one of the biggest arcs that I could put floats on my float, and and it's like uh, these arcs, they got these sails in it, and they got and the same with the hell, like right beside my float is a hell float, and they got these sails in it. They got sails in it. You can't see it. They look. When I saw them, they look. I always forget the name of that too. I remember it in a minute. So it's like when these possessions, they really change. You can narrow the pulling. You can feel like cancer. Let's say you got a cancer or illness, where you can feel the brace of a cancer or illness. You can feel it. You can feel it squeeze on you somewhere. Your body got to be cleansed though. Like for some reason, even if I been eat well, ain't no some reason this guy. Even though they got me around this bad food and I can't afford no healthy food and stuff like that, I can still feel it. Normally, you gotta be real clean to feel that stuff. I could probably feel it a lot better if I didn't. But like cancer and all that, you can feel the braces and stuff like that. You can, yeah, diabetes, you can detach it. As soon as you feel it, you can detach it before it actually be called cancer in your body. Or diabetes in your body. You can feel it trying to make, create. uh, but they got these slots in there. I had to stop laughing because I thought it was jokes. They're not jokes. Sometimes I giggle because they might put a couple more, words on it. And then I might think, okay, maybe it is a joke. It might not be no joke though. But I don't think they be joking over there, but it could be. And in these slots, they got, let's say in these areas, they got one that's called corn, and they got a cell that's called corn. They got a cell that's called throat. They got a cell that's called, it's like when you go up to the Libra scale, you're going to be in that line. So when you see these arts, projections, they look like projections. That's what I knew I'd come up with it later. They look like projections. They all like, they right here. They floating in the air right now above the earth. Like, not above the earth, but in the earth. And people can't see it. I saw it when I had that near-death experience when I came back. And it looked like a bunch of souls was lined up on these, going to these ships. And on YouTube, they show you where people, they got a YouTube where they show you people lined up at the Libra scale, and it's a lot of lines. It's a lot of lines, and this is what was crazy. This is something that was crazy. I had a friend who had a near-death experience right before I did, because somehow the same group of people tried to take us both out, and they really did to him. You know, they did it to him. Well, they paralyzed him basically, and he told me this near-death experience, and I listened to it. And next thing you know, I had one. Mine wasn't like that though. I seen it on YouTube. Somebody else, I knew he didn't see this on YouTube. This was a new video. And they were showing this line from the Libra scale, where it was such a long line, you know, of people. Well, I seen, when I had my near-death trip, it's like that line goes all the way around mountains. And it's different lines. It's just lines and lines of soul. So when I came back here to the earth, I saw it in the earth. And it's like they going on these ships. And them ships part over there in the heavens by that Libra scale right there, because hell ain't far from heaven. And when God tell you go to the Libra scale, it don't matter if you're a so-called Christian, it don't matter who you think you is. God and Jesus or Michael, one of them gonna be there, or if not all three of them sometime, because they'll gather and they'll talk. And they're gonna be like, they just point, and it's like you just jump off in hell. You go over here, you just like, you go off in hell, you go to hell, you know. And but they got these spots on these ships. So you get what I'm saying? When you go up to the Libra scale, you can't say, I was just doing this, doing that. It's gonna be like you was a corn. You came off the corn sail though. You came out of the corn sail of the ship. You see what I'm saying? So they're gonna automatically know what you're doing. So if you go in there and say you were doing this, doing that, don't matter. You just came out of the corn sail. You just came out of the throat sail. Especially if you're an angel, that's how it works. I'm telling y'all, you ain't getting away with nothing. And that's what I'm saying. My nationality got to really tighten up, step up, and start cleaning up and getting used to being sound minded and let it go. Just let it go already. You've been doing it your whole life, just let it go. You're going to feel like you aging at first. But then, if you give yourself to God the right way while you're trying to practice being sound minded and get over your emotions and finally transmute that energy, you'll start back, your youthfulness will come back. You know what I'm saying? You won't look so old all the time. I mean, instead of looking like you aging, you look like you're getting younger a little bit. Let's go for everybody, though. That ain't just no melanin thing. People keep saying that. I heard somebody say that on YouTube the other day. That people tell you to give, you know, we got some purpose, but it ain't that much off, though. But, but that's how it worked. I'm trying to remember the other name without them poking on me, because they acting like they don't want me to say a lot of them. Some of these names, it sound bad. It sound like jokes. They're not jokes, though. That's scary. I kept laughing. I noticed I was getting in trouble for them. I said, y'all the one telling the joke. And they were like, I think they finally told me that they ain't jokes. I said, oh, bad. Oh, I can't be laughing. That's why I said God would have to tell me I could be a comedian because now that I see things the way I see things, uh-uh, no. It's like the choking and the rolling got sales, stuff like that. It's like, how do I know about this stuff? Because it's ancient magic. And that's what it's called when you get out of the Aramaic and you say it, it'll be choking, rolling, and tucking. That's what you're doing. You got to go on them sales. What else? That's like uh, spoke to my flame. I just said, hey, I told myself I was going to say hey to her next time I saw her and wish her a good day. And that's what I did. I mean, because but with the way things going, ain't no telling when we're going to see each other. We could be dead tomorrow, and one of us. So, you know, and I said the next time I see her, I'm going to do that. Because we normally just, we ain't really bad at each other, nothing like that. We just, we really don't deal with each other at all. But anyway, we talked for a few minutes, and she was like, what she say? I can't remember now. I remember later. Oh, she had said something like she likes to stand stuff like she talks spiritual like I do. She said, uh, we was talking about mythological stuff, and she was saying, you Satan and I'm such and such. I said, I'm not Satan. I said, I'm O and you Zoe. Just playing. I'm O and you Zoe. That's what I said. I said, I'm not Satan. I said, but I didn't tell what I should have told her was this. Them dudes you dealing with Diablos though. And see, they got sales. Those Diablos. A lot of people out here. I don't know if Diablos is like considered the devil or I don't know. But the Diablo, the way the Diablos move like the devils. They move like devils. I would have to talk to a Hispanic about it. I used to hear Hispanics talk about Diablos. But it's more Diablo vessels out here than you think. And all the men she keep choosing are Diablos. That's why they keep basically turning her out. Because Diablos move like that. And they got their own sales. This stuff is deep, man. And then it's like, let's say you got, so you are an entity like that, and you bothering other people, you harassing, you getting out of line. You got sales, you finna go to and decline and descend, and they finna break you all the way down, and you going to the you finna be not tested, but God finna break you down too, basically. So you finna be in trouble as well. So it don't matter who you is or what you think you is, you gotta go through this process of being broken down and something that's gonna consume your energy, your goodness, your everything good about you because you was out of line so bad. So it's like they say you got a cell right here and you got all these here, you might see a cell over there and it's a bunch of Diablos and Satan vessels and stuff like that. Finna get it's harder for an angel in hell than it is for a human. Because they higher version of themselves would have been angelic, but they kept sinning. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like they angels, so they kept sinning, and they got their wings clipped, turning the witches and warlock. Then they even got even worse, and they went into their demon mode, which would have been a Diablo or Satan or something like that. And you get into this, and you transform your real image. You'll be scared of who you really look like. That's why we look like this energy that is in this physical. That's why we look like we look. But you couldn't deal with what we really look like. And so uh But that was the little conversation we had. It was just for about 5, 10 minutes. It wasn't even 10 minutes. About 10 minutes at the most. And it was, I said, no, I'm not Satan, honey. You know. And uh, but yeah, that's how it moved. That's how it go. Like these sales, you just got these different spots. Like when I had that near death experience, I went up there to heaven. I seen these great people in my mind. When God, took me out of hell and I went to heaven to get these new orders that I had to do on earth, my mind got back. I knew who my walk was different. I could feel me walking out of hell into heaven and transforming, but I couldn't see me who I was. It was like they wouldn't let me see myself, and I remember being more not like cocky, but for sure myself. And these other angels, seen Michael, all of them, everybody was in heaven chilling. And I said, they were like, hey man, everybody kept saying, what's up, man? What's up? It wasn't like here where everybody hate me and torture me to death. It was more like everybody was like, hey bro, hey bro. And they just kept saying stuff. And I was like, I ain't nowhere near like y'all. I can't do nothing. I ain't never been good at nothing. All I can do is rap. That's what I was in heaven saying. All I can do is rap. And at that time, I was really on my rapping game, bro. So I said, all I can do is rap. I'm in heaven trying to rap. They were like, they laughed. They said, oh, okay. That's all you know how to do? You mean tell me on earth that's all you know how to do? I said, yeah. Yeah, that's all I know. I was finna get upset a little. Not really, but, like I could feel that I was somebody powerful. Like, yeah. So they were like, oh, man. What they say? He said, well, you don't know who O is? I said, man, I don't know no O, but I know how to rap, and I know before I got out of heaven, about 4 or 5 more angels kept saying that. They said, you don't know O? I said, I don't know no O. Why everybody keep asking me if I know O? They said, cause O up here, he run the music game up here in heaven. That's what they said. I said, oh, run the music game in heaven. Cause it's like comedy and all that in heaven. You just gotta know. You gotta perfect your craft down here to where you're not picking on people and doing things that you know, like in this situation, when y'all was talking about people forested, but you knew you had these groups of witches and warlocks that were doing root magic on people. It ain't funny when it's like that. You gotta beat that first, and then you can crack jokes about stuff like that, and then it won't affect you. See how that works? I just said something powerful then. That's not funny when you doing root magic on people. You get rid of them witches and warlocks that doing them root magic on everybody, and then you can go and be a joker and tell jokes about it. Till then, it's a problem. I told you, I swear to God, Revelation here, and I don't think it's just for this area neither. Because that line of them ships, the way they show, I think they showed something similar to it on YouTube, but the way my brother explained it, that's exactly the same experience I had. And that line, because he was a high priestess as well, but we were friends, but I call him my brother. He was a high priestess as well. And we must go through, high priestess must go through the same thing. And I'm telling you, that when I got back here on earth, it's ships of souls just binding, and you can feel, that's why I can feel these chains, and you feel these chains, if you sick and you got cancer or something like that, just pay attention. You can feel if you got something serious, God forbid it, but if you got something serious wrong with you like that, you can feel something on you that got you binded to that thing. You get rid of that off your wherever it's binded to. That's how I heal myself through a lot. You find that whatever that's binded that's braced on you, you get rid of it, you good. And that's the only reason why I don't trust these two girls. I mean, these two braces on my ankles that I feel like tied to these. That's the only reason I don't trust them. But they supposed to have cleansed them or something, but I don't know what that means. That's the only reason why I don't trust them too, though, because they connected to them. And normally, when you got chains and braces, you're supposed to get rid of them, and they could be part of these tension spells. maybe, or maybe not. But they supposed to have cleansed them. They could be, but see, here's the thing. I'm binded by God and something else while I'm doing this mission. So them two braces, one on my left and one on my right, easily could be, pulling me this way. But I don't know if that's it though. I think that's part of all the other, like the edge, the chains, and everything else. Cause the chain belong to me, and right now at the moment they're attacking me because somebody did all these devil deals and swapped my energy out and destiny swap with me. So as soon as they stop attacking me, I can feel them. It's all kind of deep stuff, Todd. I'm telling you, man. You gotta pay attention to you. I done went so far back. I've been alone for so long. It's like I went through my physical genealogy to my spiritual genealogy and found out who I was somehow. And it's like the more I found out who I really was, the more empowered I became. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody can do this on the planet, man. You just gotta be sane. You gotta heal yourself, real, for real, for real. And I'm good at that when people put my back against the wall like they did this time. See, my family thought I had a hidden agenda like they do, like secrets in the dark like they do. And now that they know I don't, they like, oh, hell, we messed up real bad. You sure hell did, because I ain't got no prostitute ring. I ain't got no secret added stuff. I ain't got none of that. I've been cleansing myself for a long time thanks to y'all because you made sure I stayed single with all this magic shit you've been doing to me my whole life. I'm not single. You made sure I stayed alone. No lovers, no friends, no real people in my life. So you damn right. I worked on myself real good, real good. You know what I'm saying? Because I learned that all I got to do is walk in my power with God and stand up with God and walk in my higher self to get rid of all you losers for even thinking about trying to do this to me. Sure did, that's right. That's why I don't deal with nobody. Because y'all have yet to even admit to anything. You still going, what's wrong with him? Is he okay? Nah, is you okay? I know about everything. I know about the phone. I know about the bond. I know about the gains. I know about the unaliving. I know about the money you stole. I know about the inheritance you stole. I know about everything. Are you okay? You still telling lies. That's why I don't deal with nobody.